everybody. Okay, so we're back again. Right now we are going to start with, oh, I'm not sure if this is working. There we go. So we're back to do the wild rice mushroom soup. Chris has this wonderful huge stock pot, as you can see. I wish it was a little shorter and wider as opposed to so tall because I'm so short. But Chris has shown me that I need to cook the water off of the mushrooms. Now I had 24 ounces of mushrooms that I washed. I took the stems off, and now we are caramelizing them. There's a lot of water on them. He told me that I needed to cook off the water for the caramelization, so that's what we did. And he's going to come back here momentarily to let me know that I'm ready for my next step. Now, this is not something that I've done with the previous times that I've made the mushroom soup, but I think that this is going to impart a great deal of flavor. So, how's that look?
Let me see. Yeah, now you get some conversation.
Okay. Can I add my onions now?
Yeah.
All right.
You are so impatient.
I am impatient. I am super impatient. So, we've got 24 ounces of mushrooms that I cleaned, stemmed. And when I say stemmed, I took the bottom stems off and then we saved those, and Chris makes mushroom soup with those. I have a large white onion that I'm adding, chopped.
Basically, she's going over the miracle.
Yeah.
Basically.
I am adding garlic. I'm adding the garlic. Thank you. He and I do not cook the same, so sometimes it's a conversation in the kitchen. And once those onions get to caramelizing,
Now we got salt.
I am going to add a little salt.
Yeah.
The salt draws out the liquid and helps it break down. That's what you're saying to me?
Exactly.
Okay. Tablespoon?
Yeah.
Maybe. I've got all that rice. So it's somewhere between a teaspoon and a tablespoon. He thinks I added more than I added. I'm not adding any more salt.
Until after she tastes it. Once
Right.
she tastes it, then she might ask it.
I don't think so. At that point, I think I'm going to add my secret ingredient.
I'm not saying that.
Thank you. Adding fresh.
I always want to take my pepper.
I do. I need that cute little pepper mill that I saw Michael Simon using. It's a woman, and then the top is her head, and you just. I'm looking for that one now. That's the one I'm looking for.
I wouldn't mind using that. Just a little head.
Then we've got tablespoon of oregano. Always a little bit more. Oh, not that much.
No.
There. You don't want to add too much oregano because then it adds like a bitter note, and you don't want that.
And it does that because if you burn it, then that's when it becomes bitter. Just like garlic. That's what I was saying to her.
Hold off on the garlic.
Yeah. Because by the time the onions caramelize.
The onions are not going to fully caramelize because I'm going to add the celery. Oil? Okay, then give me a little bit more oil. It's right there. Yeah, I'm going to use the olive oil. So,
Make the hole in the center?
hole in the center.
Yep. Then let that oil heat up before you start stirring.
Okay. So in here, we've got about 2 tablespoons of olive oil at this point. I started with 1 tablespoon, got those mushrooms cooked down, added the onion. Now we've got the 2nd tablespoon of oil going in. Salt and pepper and oregano are in. And in this other pot that you can see over here in the corner, this is where my wild rice is. I do not cook my wild rice with my veggies. That's just not how I do it. So, this smells wonderful. The next thing I'm going to add, okay, Chris is very happy right now. So, we'll find out about that later, I guess. Next thing I'm going to add is my celery and my carrots. I did 6 carrots, 6 stalks of celery. And when I say 6 carrots, they weren't fat. They were long. They were just thin and long, and they were good. And this is why I need this pot to be just a little shorter and wider, because I'm short. Adding that, getting those all mixed together. So far we have 24 ounces of mushrooms, 1 large white onion, 6 carrots, 6 stalks of celery. The next thing going in is 2 baby bells that I have right here. And I like the baby bells. They're easy to use. They impart great flavor. The one last thing that I have on this plate is the celery leaves. I add that at the end. I love their flavor. So that gets added too. And I've been trying to do all this prep before I come on, so you guys don't have to watch all that. But I'm going to show you what we've got working here. Can you see it? Isn't it great? So all that's going, or the rice is going. I'm going to strain the rice here momentarily. And what's going to go into the soup is the veggie stock that Chris made yesterday. So he made me a great big thing of veggie stock, and this is going to impart other flavors. That's why I'm not adding my, you guys see it sitting here, my Tello mix. It's added last. If I'm going to add any more salt, that would be after as well. So I love this soup. And when I found this soup, it called for cream, it called for cornstarch, and I was like, no, I think I'm going to keep it vegan. This is one that I really enjoy vegan. I enjoy the wild rice. I enjoy the veggies. I like keeping them crunchy. I don't want the cream. I don't want the starch. I don't want anything to offset that. I like it this way. And I think the people who have tried it also like it this way. So I think, yes, my rice is done. So we're going to go ahead and turn that off. We're going to taste it to confirm. And my spoons are over here. So I take a bag of wild rice, probably about 2.5 cups of wild rice, and then I do double the water from that. And sometimes I add a little bit of veggie stock just to get some flavor in there, and a good pinch of salt so that the flavor goes through the rice. Good to go. So now continue stirring this. There we go. Gonna check the carrots because that'll let me know what I need to know. If the carrots are too hard, it's not time yet to add the rice. And the carrots are too hard. So, well, the other thing that I add at the end is a good bunch of kale. And the reason I add that at the end is because just like spinach, just like the celery leaves, those wilt down. So there's no reason to add them while you're doing all of this. I just add them at the end so they have a little bit of crunch left in them. Maybe I should have done all this before I started the video, but I enjoy the videos. I'm enjoying our time at home. I realize that not everybody is enjoying their time at home, but for us, it's been a chance to figure out what works here. This big space that you see behind me, that's our pantry Chris built for me, which I love. I realize that it looks a mess, but it's really not. It's pretty good, well organized. What he did for me, though, was he got plumber pipes, cast iron pipes, and he drilled those into the wall, and then he just got shelving. I stained them and set it on top. So it's kind of an open concept pantry. And then what we intend to do is put a barn door across there. So that's why it looks a little full over there. But we like it. It was the first project he did in the house. And what was interesting about it was I wasn't super excited about the project. I just came home and there was a big hole in the wall, and I was not as positive as I should have been. But now that it's done, and now that the only thing that it needs is the barn door, I love it. Love it. So I need to get something. Oh, I know what I need. I think I need to get something to get the rice. That'll be for that. You hear all this sizzle. I'm going to pull up a spoon so you can see this wonderfulness. Isn't that great? Loving it. And now all this wonderful veggie stock will go right in here. All of it. All the flavor. Everything. The spices. All of it. I love when Chris makes veggie stock. It is my absolute favorite smell when I wake up in the morning and I can smell the stock, favorite flavor to add to things. I love it. So at this point, I'm going to wait till this comes to a boil. Then I'm going to add I'm just showing you guys. And then I'm going to add my wild rice in spoonfuls into the soup. Thereafter, I'm going to add my celery and I'm going to add my kale. The last thing, when I'm ready to put it in a bowl and eat it, I've already chopped sweet potato that I'm going to put on top. This sweet potato was roasted in the oven. Chris has taught me a great lesson here. I used to boil my sweet potatoes, not anymore. He roasts them whole in aluminum with salt and pepper and olive oil, and then lets them roast until they're at the tenderness that you want. And once they're at that tenderness, go ahead and pull them. I love them. They're delicious. So this is the only way that we do sweet potatoes in this house anymore. There's no more boiling. We don't do that anymore. So again, got this going. The stock is in here. Once the stock comes to a boil, it gets the vegetables just a little softer. I'm going to add my rice, my celery leaves, my kale, and then right at the end, I'm going to add the sweet potato to the top. So I will send you guys a picture once it's done. Also, if the flavor isn't exactly where I want it, which I don't think it's going to be quite there, but it's going to be really, really close, my ingredient that I love, I've always loved my whole life, is this German mix. Love this stuff. If you can't find this, Natur Vegeta. And I say Natur because it doesn't have the MSGs and anything in it. So it's similar to this. And you can find Natur Vegeta here. So hope you guys enjoy this. I'll send you guys a picture. I just don't want you to have to wait while I wait for boiling stock. It's just not necessary. If you guys have any questions, if there's any videos that you'd really like to see, if there's anything that you'd like us to cook that we haven't cooked yet, let us know. We're definitely trying different things, new things. I know we still need to make the tzatziki, and luckily Chris bought a second container of the dill today, so we'll be able to make the tzatziki. And look forward to hearing from you guys. Hope you're all staying safe and well. Take care.